Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to Salesforce TechBytes YouTube channel. As a Salesforce professional, we all know it's quite challenging for us to maintain the Salesforce system with the clean data, right? Or good quality of data, I would say, right? It's really challenging to prevent the bad data get persisted in the Salesforce system, right? So what are the way this bad data can get into the system, right? So we all know. So what are the way that we get the data? It's all the same ways, like no, the integration or through data loader or through user input. So we can see that the data which comes maybe not a qualified data, or sometimes it might be not having the complete information or a bad data in the system, right? So how do we prevent the bad data in the system, right? So we do have the out of box some configurations. Example, validation rule. If you take a validation rule, which is very good, powerful tool, which help or which will help to prevent the bad data gets created in the system. It could be an integration, it could be a validate, it could be through a user screen, or it could be through a data loader as well, right? So the validation tool is very powerful tool, and I'm damn sure so all the developers or across all the Salesforce projects we would have implemented this. And in my projects, we have implemented a lot the validation tool. And this is out of box configurations, and we always know we first see the configuration, and if something we are not able to do with the configuration, then we go for the code, right? Yes, the validation rule is perfect, and it helps in many ways, but until certain point, right? So there is also a limitation when you want to allow the creation of record only based on the certain criteria from the related records, right? In that case, we're not able to go for the validation rule because this logic seems to be little complex or little lengthy, so which we cannot do with the validation rule, right? So validation rule, basically we can prevent the data gets created based on the record criteria or the record owner some conditions or the login user conditions. We can prevent the data is getting this created in the system or getting updated in the system. But when it comes to the complex logics to be included, right? What we do, we will not be able to achieve this with the validation rule. And of course, Salesforce had other option, which is a coding perspective. We create an Apex trigger and then we use add error function to achieve this functionality, right? But we always wanted to know, so why we cannot have much more complex validation Salesforce can provide with the out of box only, right? Now it's a time. So Salesforce came back and say, hey, from Winter'24 release, you can use a record trigger flow, which will help you to prevent the bad data creation in the system with the new function called custom error, right? Or new action called custom error. Yes, so we do have record trigger flow in the before action or fast field updates. Now we have a custom error function which helps us to give the error to the user and prevent the record created in the system. So this is very useful. And for example, the scenario, right? Let's take a use case, right? So we want to create an opportunity. When we create an opportunity, that opportunity related account must have some contacts. If there is no contact exist, we want to prevent that opportunity gets created for that account, right? So this can be done with the flow, record trigger flow, and with the custom error function. You might have other options also, and this might not be very complex use case, but it's very simple use case for you. Just to I can demonstrate how it works, right? So it's easy to understand for you as well. Let's get into the demo. I already have shared my screen. You can see this. Now I go to the flow, and you can see the flow is already created. This is opportunity create validation, and you can see the start method. So here is the start method conditions. The select object I have used opportunity, and configure trigger option the record created. So I validate only the opportunity record gets created. You can choose the created or updated as well based on your business use case. Now we go for set entry conditions. Here I say account ID is null equal to false. Right? If account ID is null, then it won't execute. If account ID is not null, then only we want to go to execute this flow. We don't want to execute this flow all the times, right? So because our criteria is based on the account to have a contact. If account itself not there, so there is no point of executing this thing, right? So we have filter conditions here so that our record trigger flow works or works very specifically, right? I could say. So and then optimize the flow for we choose fast field updates because before record saving to the database, we need to throw this validation error. Now, so after this, you click on save, you put the flow label and your API name of flow, and then you put some description, right? So now, after the start, then we have get opportunity account related contacts. So if you edit this one, okay. So now you see I have used get account records after the start, where we are checking a contact, putting a contact. So contact account ID should equals to the opportunity account ID. We are pulling only those contacts or we are querying those contacts. Sort order, I don't prefer any sort order for now because this is a simple use case. And I query all the records and I choose store record data, choose fields and assign variables, right? So this is my collection variable which I have created. You could see here this variable section. So I have created data type as a record and object is contact and I have selected this checkbox allow multiple values and this would be available for input as well as for the output. Right? I've selected ID only and finally I selected when no records are written set specified value variables to null. Okay, so that this helps me whether this contact having any whether this account have any contacts or not. Now I go to the decision and then I see whether variable contact is null equal to false, which means if it is false, variable null equal to false, which means we already have a contact and we can continue create the opportunity record. If it is true, which goes to the default outcome, where I do not expect this opportunity record to be created. So for that, if you see here, we have a new function called custom error under the interaction section. So you can add this custom error under the interaction section and you can set the property for the custom error. You see where to show the error message. You can choose show the error message on the record page, or you can choose show the error message on a particular field. So both are feasible, right? For example, you can select on the account ID, I want to show the error message, or in the record page, I want to show the error message, right? And then you can also choose resource picker. If you already have any variable, you can use it, or you can directly put your message here, which will be shown to the user when the error happened in the system. Now we go to the account. I have created this new account for a testing purpose. It doesn't have any contact. So you can see here, this is a brand new account, so you will not see much data. So can you bear with me? So this is a contact. There is no contact is available. Now I'm trying to create an opportunity. My logic, so when there is no contact available to the account that is associated with the opportunity, then the opportunity should not be created. Right? So now I go for a new opportunity and I put an opportunity with no contact. I put this name just for our easy understanding. And close date is always required from Salesforce and stage is required. So I put only the mandatory fields for now. I click on save. You could see this error is happening. So this is the error message which we have defined in this customer screen. You can see here. Okay. The same error message which is getting displayed here. And you see the error message is displayed with the Salesforce UI styles on it, right? Now, what happens if the contact exists? It should successfully allow the record to be created, right? So we always need to test the negative scenario also. So the works present contact, I create a new contact. Now we have a contact as exist. And now if I try to create an opportunity, the flow should not prevent me to create an opportunity. Right? I say with contact and I put the date, like click the stage, I click on save. You see the opportunity got created successfully. So we are able to use record trigger flow custom error for validation purpose. This is very interesting feature, and I'm damn sure that we will start using this across our projects for the complex validations, and it will definitely save a lot of time, of writing the code. So we can save time of writing the code, and it is very easy to maintain in the system, and all the performance of everything will be taken care of by Salesforce as long as we follow the basic, the Garnet limits and the best practices which have been provided by Salesforce. Hope this video was interesting, and I believe that you will be able to play around with the custom error function from record trigger flow. If you have any doubts, please feel free to keep a comment on the video, or you can always reach out to me on my email specified in this comments box. Thanks for your view. Thank you so much.